12-rounder. It should be a dandy, and here we go. Barrera in the white trunks, and Pacquiao is a southpaw. Let's see if he can land that big power left hand, or will he be tentative to do that against the good defense of Barrera?
You know, you look at these two fighters, and immediately you notice that Barrera seems to be naturally a bigger fighter. That was a slip.
Pacquiao is down, though.
They scored
and they're calling it a knockdown, so Pacquiao already in some deep trouble. Let's see how he adjusts. He looks confused. Will Barrera come after him now?
That was a slip. Pacquiao needs to stay poised here, though, Dave. Barrera's way too dangerous to get too busy on him.
Barrera coming in now, trying to find out, even if it was a slip, how Pacquiao was affected. Pacquiao opening up with the big left hand, and Barrera down on him. Early slugfest of a righty against a lefty. Pacquiao slipping through with the left hand. Barrera stalking him, moving to his left.
Pacquiao is getting his jab in. He has landed a few shots.
Pacquiao slides the left hand through behind the jab. And even though it's to Barrera's benefit to go 12, for Pacquiao, it's to get out of this early tense situation and try to settle into a fight. That's his goal.
He has to stay poised, knowing he could lose this round 10-8. Nevertheless, he has to stay poised.
Pacquiao trading with Barrera on the inside. Pacquiao tried a big right hook, and Barrera slammed him to the body. One thing about Barrera, he will give you a receipt after you throw a punch. You better be pulling your hands back or you're going to get tagged. And that's the difference between him and some of Pacquiao's other opponents.
And Barrera has power in both hands. So when he counters, he can hit you from all angles.
Good body shot by Barrera. Looking composed here. Right hand leads, a good punch for him. Pacquiao moving to his left. Barrera's right. He tries to get in line for the right hand and instead throws the left hook.
Nevertheless, very impressive round by Barrera, despite the controversy surrounding that knockdown.
Well, he's able to keep Pacquiao from getting any real big shots home and setting an early tone. So Barrera has a 10-8 round most likely, and Pacquiao gets out of it. So they each got something. Let's take a look and see what happened. The jab gets through by Pacquiao, and the feet get tangled up, and that should have been a slip.
That's exactly what happened. Barrera was on his right foot.
So it goes down most likely as a 10-8 round for Barrera, but not properly so. Nonetheless, the judges follow the referee's lead. If the referee calls it a knockdown, they go that way. That's an important note to consider, but it showed that the feet got tangled up, and that happens with righties and lefties a lot. The heads come together a lot too. Into round two we go. Marco Antonio Barrera with an administrative gift and also a good first round of boxing.
But you have to wonder, after losing around 10-8, how does that change Pacquiao's fight plan? Does he speed things up, go to the attack a little bit earlier in the fight, or does he continue to stick to his fight plan?
Well, if the corner convinced him it was a slip, he'll come back and fight normally.
Good left by Barrera there.
Stiff jab by Barrera. Pacquiao having trouble reaching him, and Barrera smartly staying out of harm's way when Pacquiao attacks. Pacquiao will have to vary that attack and come from a different angle to catch Barrera napping.
You know, Barrera's been fighting since the age of 7. I don't think he's lost a thing, quite frankly.
Well, he's actually gaining. A lot of people were ready to count him out in the late 1990s after 2 losses to Junior Jones.
And then Eric Morales.
Eric Morales is a tough fight. That might have been the most legitimate of the losses. And Junior Jones was a guy that was just too big for him. But a lot of guys don't come back from that. And Barrera basically reinvented himself and came back a lot stronger.
Good
and
point.
became more of a boxer.
Exactly.
And Pacquiao thinks he got to Barrera. Barrera does not think so. But Pacquiao scores twice nicely there.
No, he's got quick hands.
Pacquiao getting in.
He's feeling it right now.
Pacquiao doing his best work, and he drove Barrera back. Kafir coming after Barrera now.
Well, he's taking this round away from him.
Pacquiao, very importantly, was able to answer Barrera's last round, which was a big one for him.
2 stiff lefts right there.
And Barrera slowing down and waiting for Pacquiao to come to him. And Pacquiao landed a big left hand as Barrera tried to suck him in. And now here comes Barrera right back. He opens up with a right hand. And Pacquiao back on the inside. Boy, how much fun is this?
The fans are getting this slugfest.
Pacquiao is going to get his money's worth here as he opens it up. And they put 2 rounds of a war into one. You talk about a battle of attrition. This is it.
We got to fight.
Nice round. Under the left eye of Barrera and almost a cut inside there. Pacquiao's hand speed got there. So into round 3 we go. And this is a sizzling bout, as expected.
And as Freddie Roach's trainer said in the corner moments ago, don't wait for him, get off.
And when he did that in the latter stages of round 2, Manny Pacquiao had good success. And then Barrera turned it around and tried to steal it back. Good shot!
Whoa.
And Barrera hits the canvas. That big left hand by Pacquiao. Barrera acknowledges it. What a bomb from Pacquiao. What a chance he has to win this fight. Terrific hand speed by Pacquiao. He is all over Barrera. What speed and power here by Pacquiao. Putting Barrera on the deck. Stunning development. But Pacquiao has the tools. We talked about that explosive left hand at the top of the show. And he dealt it to Barrera. And here comes Pacquiao back. What a rumble. But Barrera getting the worst of it. Now he's back with all of his heart. But this is an absolute war.
Pacquiao's running right through him now. Walking right through him.
Big shots by Pacquiao. Barrera there on his heart, but he is getting drilled. The speed of Pacquiao and the power putting Barrera down. Barrera cannot stop that big left hand coming at him. Another big shot by Pacquiao.
Great combinations.
He is
Tremendous.
doing it all. On the inside, here's the hand speed. Pacquiao going for it now. Can he get Barrera out of there? He is just all over him.
Barrera's hanging on for dear life right now.
Barrera being pummeled. When did you ever think you would hear that? But he's got a ton of heart. He's trying to figure out an opening as he works the body. And now Pacquiao back. Pacquiao came in, an extremely live opponent. And roared into life in round 2 and scored an absolute beautiful knockdown in round 3.
His hand quickness is a difference tonight, Dave.
Yeah, he's throwing combinations at Barrera, and sometimes the back end of the combination is what's getting through.
You know, and he's not a physically large man, but he has great leverage, doesn't he?
And so for Pacquiao, just getting out of the first round was big. And for Barrera, just getting out of round 3 is big because Pacquiao invested a lot of energy in this round. And let's see how that plays. Well, how many power punching lefties do you see? What a shot by Pacquiao.
I'm impressed with Pacquiao tonight. Barrera tried to gamely fight back, but Pacquiao just walked right through him, landed some more devastating shots.
And notice how he turned from one punch to the second one in the knockdown. Look at the leverage. Watch the hips of Pacquiao. That's how he's generating it. His second punch coming behind the first has all the leverage. You picture any other sport where you spin all your power into a shot, and that's what Pacquiao did. Here we are in round 4. It's a beauty between Marco Antonio Barrera in the white trunks Manny Pacquiao in the red. We're at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. This is Dave Bontempo with Art Mack. Barrera, 57-3, 40 knockouts. Pacquiao, 37-2-1, 29 knockouts. A knockdown of a flash variety because the feet slipped in round one, given to Barrera as a 10-8 round, and Pacquiao with a thunderous 10-8 round in the third.
I would think Barrera right here is going to try and buy some time, stay away from him for a couple of rounds, try and push this fight into the later rounds and then take control again. That would be my game plan right now because Pacquiao's simply too dangerous, too quick for him.
As if this fight depended on it, because it does. And he has to slow down the pace of the fight, but Pacquiao says no.
He comes right back.
Pacquiao gives you the appearance he'll be right in front of Barrera, but the key thing is watch how he turns as he gets close. And then he comes up with a unique angle, and he's not always right in front of Barrera. If he does that, he is successful because he's turning on the inside. That's how quick he is.
You know, Barrera's known for his solid chin and his stamina, but Pacquiao's really putting the heat on him and wearing him down right here. And Barrera's defenses just aren't quick enough to block his punches.
Because there's more than one. It's a jab, left hand. Again, we see that. Now, Barrera trying to counter with a right hand lead. Get that in before Pacquiao can get into his combination. Pacquiao just missing with the back end of these combinations now. The jab and then the left hand. Barrera making him come up a little bit short. So there's a small adjustment there that's worked for Barrera. But that's a dangerous shot. They talk about the fact that speed is power.
And Pacquiao's winning this round too.
For Barrera, even if he were to give a round away, that's not as bad for him as walking into these big shots. If he can slow down the pace and try to regain the composure, he'd be all right with that and then try to get this fight down the stretch.
Well, once again, Pacquiao's never been in a 12-round fight. He's never gone the distance. He's never had to, of course.
And the way he fought in the beginning of the last round, it didn't look like he'd have to tonight. So a good round for Pacquiao again as he tries to open it up. And look at this. The power, the speed. And he's got Barrera's number so far. But it's only through 4 rounds. They continue to wail away. Landing with 36% of his power punches, and that's a big number, and that's something we'll keep an eye on. If that number in power punches ever gets up around 50, that's when fights usually end.
Yeah, for every shot Barrera's landing, Pacquiao's coming back with 3.
So round 5, and Pacquiao
is getting stronger by the minute.
Waging a thrilling performance if you're a purist, and if you're a Marco Antonio Barrera fan, he's breaking your heart. But he is explosive energy. We saw that in his last fight against Emmanuel Lucero, just that powerful left hand coming in. And because of the quick feet, watch how he turns into his punches, and so he's not that predictable.
Exactly, with his quick feet, as you said. Even when Barrera's backing away, he's able to step in and land a good-looking punch.
A lot of guys will throw a jab and a power shot, and it has a certain rhythm to it so that you can time it after a while. But if the guy is always moving on a different angle, the second punch is coming out of a different place than it did the last time.
Well, Barrera's trying to outbox him right here, keep his distance, and we alluded to this earlier in this broadcast. Barrera has become a better boxer of late.
But here's Pacquiao coming on him again. Barrera had moved smartly, but Pacquiao continued to swarm him. He's not giving Barrera any rest. And so this fight, for sure, will be an absolute gut check for Barrera.
And Pacquiao just keeps penetrating those gloves. Look at those 2 shots right there, 3, 4 shots.
The heads came together there. As Pacquiao is throwing jab and a right hand there, Barrera digs the body, and the heads come together another time.
Barrera would love to work the body more often. He's noted for that, but he doesn't want to get a fist sandwich every time he tries to do it.
And here comes Pacquiao again, and now Barrera had him trapped for a moment, but Pacquiao is out of there. Pacquiao moving up in weight, but dropped Barrera in round 3. And he did it emphatically. Barrera dodging the two-punch combination here by Pacquiao. Crowd trying to urge him on now that they sense he's out of danger. But he's tying up Pacquiao. And although Barrera looks physically stronger, Pacquiao has been the more muscle-bound fighter. The power shots have been his.
It's that leverage we're talking about, Dave. He has tremendous leverage.
So Pacquiao putting point.
Anything? Well, Barrera's corner's not getting hit with those punches.
No, they're not, and they're trying to psych him up a little bit, but he's been around the block, and he knows when his opponent has nothing and when he has something. And there seems to be plenty left in that Pacquiao gas tank. What they should be telling him, I think, Art, is to focus more on some lateral movement so that Pacquiao would have to lunge at him and not come straight to him, make it harder for Pacquiao to get there.
Well, we're beginning to get into the middle of the fight right now, and Pacquiao only averages about 4 rounds of fight. So right about now, Barrera is going to be intently watching him to see if he slows down a little bit, and then he can seize the opportunity. That has to be his only hope right now.
Well, he could try the right-hand lead. He could try to beat Pacquiao to the punch. But it's Pacquiao swirling again on Barrera.
So much for the game plan.
You never see Barrera get hit with this many shots. And this has nothing to do with the guy getting old. This has nothing to do with the guy losing reflexes or anything. This is just an upstart opponent who has blitzing hand speed.
Yeah, he's very confident, and he's very talented,
Again,
and he's
Pacquiao.
very hungry. You know, it's reaching the point where you have to wonder if Barrera can last 12 rounds, but here he comes back.
Now Barrera trying to get in on Pacquiao. You see there's an infinite difference in hand speed between the fighters. Probably a bit of a surprise in Barrera's corner and to Barrera. And they have to hope that he stops.
Here's a game plan for Barrera. He needs to land a bomb in a hurry.
There's so much for taking this to round 12 and getting it that way, huh? Well, he needs to discourage Pacquiao because this guy's just walking in unabated.
And he's racking up the points.
And for Barrera, although he got that nice gift in round 1, Pacquiao took that back and now is building up at least a 3-point edge.
At least.
And Barrera needs to stop it by brawling with him in this case. But remember, the great ones always have something in reserve. So Barrera, you know he's got at least another run in him.
Slip.
Down he goes from a slip in the feet. Must have come together again because he got nailed too.
Well, we could also be seeing the dawning of a new great champion.
Here's the action on the inside. Hit low, uppercut. They called that a slip, and I'll tell you what. You have to look at the feet. That will show you. That looked like a knockdown. So now that's 2 points that Barrera has gotten as a bonus. One in the first round when he got credit for a knockdown, and there when he should have been knocked down, and it's called the slip. So if you have Barrera losing by 3, it really should be 5.
Well, I have Barrera losing by 4 points right now. We're in the 7th round, so it's quickly reaching the point where he's going to need a knockout.
And so Barrera's been on the good end of 2 calls that were bad. And yet Manny Pacquiao still taking it to him as we head into round 7. Now Barrera comes back with a clubbing right hand. That's a lead punch against the lefty. You know, we haven't seen him wage the classic war of the righty versus the lefty, which would be the right hand lead, the double left hook.
But that's because Pacquiao is so dangerous with both hands.
But maybe he has to take what the stylistic matchup gives him. As Pacquiao again hurting Barrera. You never see Barrera get beat up like this.
Barrera complaining about being headbutted, and sure enough, Barrera has a cut to the left of his left eye.
There's a headbutt.
Absolutely.
And the fighter's tap. Accidental headbutt is called, and that's important.
Well, the good news is it's not over his eye, so it shouldn't obstruct his vision too much.
But if this would have caused the end of the bout, which it could,
it'll go to points.
They'll go to points because they finished 6 rounds already, and that's nasty.
No, he knows he's trailing in this fight. Barrera does not want to stop this fight.
On the other hand, he's getting...
Well, actually, it's a little bit over his left eye.
Will he continue? That's a big question.
Well, Barrera has to continue fighting if he wants to win this bout.
Barrera does not look like he wants to have this fight go on.
6 rounds in, they're in the 7th round right here.
So the fans are happy.
A technical draw.
Fans are happy he'll go back at it, but you know, even though Barrera has to know he's trailing, you get the sense that even though he wanted to stop, maybe he just wanted to quit. He just doesn't want to be in this fight anymore.
Well, no matter what he tries, he just keeps getting pummeled by this kid.
You know, if they stop it by a headbutt, that's less
thing he's got.
You would expect nothing less. But Barrera did not want to continue in this round. And I suspect it's because he felt he was going to lose anyway, and that's an easier thing to live down.
Well, I simply think he lost track of what round it was, and he thought maybe he could escape with a technical draw, but here he comes.
Now he comes back. Pacquiao said, no, you don't. Barrera has him in a headlock. Barrera has gotten his confidence back. And so they embrace. So we've had the headbutt. We've had the fight almost stopped. We've seen more life out of Barrera. And here's Pacquiao taking it away. There's a deliberate butt there by Barrera. That's a frustrated fighter. That was a flagrant and deliberate headbutt. And so Pacquiao beating Barrera in just about every way you can. Well, we talked about headbutts with righties and lefties, and we saw it here in the 7th round. Look at these heads come together right there, clashing. And then Barrera, right after this, shows the effect with the eye as he gets nailed in the deliberate headbutt there by Barrera to the chest. Hey, that has to hurt too.
Oh, yeah. You know, they called it an accidental headbutt, but Pacquiao didn't mind getting his head in there either.
Into round 8 we go.
And I have Pacquiao ahead by 4 points. 5 rounds to go. I call that last round even, Dave.
Remember, as the cut gets worse out of Barrera's eye, Barrera has also benefited from 2 bad calls. But he's already on the point where he just about needs the knockout. 5 rounds to go.
Just about.
And he's going to go for that knockout. And here's Pacquiao right on Barrera, and Barrera back, showing the tremendous heart he is known for. Barrera will look ready to quit in the last round, and now looks ready to go again.
Yep.
As Pacquiao is on him. Barrera looking over at the referee, saying it's the headbutt.
Every time Barrera tries to mount an attack, Pacquiao just comes right back and lands about 4 straight shots.
Pacquiao inflicting a beating on the proud Barrera. He is a whirlwind of punches.
I don't think Barrera expected this quickness and power.
But yet, if you look back at the fights this guy has had, Pacquiao has shown this in other fights, and you could say that he should have known that.
Barrera,
here is Pacquiao again.
The problem Barrera has is he's gone up against quick fighters before, but never with the devastating punching power that Pacquiao has.
And none with the tremendous leverage and execution that Pacquiao has.
Amen.
Now, Barrera has looked better in other fights anyway, but Pacquiao is making that factor a multiple of 10.
Yeah, this is the coming out party for Pacquiao tonight here in the Alamo Dome. Very impressive performance.
He's able to rise a level tonight. His last fight with Lucero, he showed some tremendous punching on top of a guy. And he has swarmed Barrera.
Well, he's knocked out 70% of his opponents. We're seeing why. Here he comes.
Coming after Barrera again. Well, he's always had this type of speed, but he's never had to sustain it over this long a period. And if there's a surprise in Barrera's camp, it probably will be that.
You're right. We're in the 8th round, and he still looks fresh.
They may have expected some speed and some surprises, but they figured he would fade. Instead, he's showing a ton of heart.
I think he could score with that.
Uppercut would be good. The lateral movement we talked about would also be good. He would change the angle that Pacquiao is coming in on. But Pacquiao is landing 5 and 6. And this is a tremendous amount of hand speed to sustain over this long a period of time. Pacquiao is not slowing down.
He just landed 2 uppercuts right there. It almost goes unnoticed. He's hit him so often.
And now we've got a timeout. We may see a point deducted. Let's see what will happen.
-1.
Yep, coming out of a clinch. Coming out of a break, Barrera hit him, and he got a point deducted from him. Now he's got to go for the knockout. It's his only prayer right now.
He is way down on the cards, and the effect of that point deduction. Barrera has not moved and changed the angles. It's so comfortable for Pacquiao to come at him.
Barrera can't believe what he's seeing tonight.
Right. He's got to try to move to the left, change the angles, but Pacquiao is just blitzing through him.
I tell you, I really think that the problem tonight with Barrera is Pacquiao is just simply too quick for him.
Well, you know, Barrera has not looked like a righty fighting a lefty. You want the right hand lead, you want the double left hook, you want to see the movement. And Lucero, he fought on national and international television a couple months ago. He shouldn't have been a surprise to the people. There's no plan B for Barrera other than his heart. Now, many times he hasn't needed a plan B, but tonight he does, and it's not there.
Well, one thing Barrera normally does is go to the body a lot, but he just can't get inside without getting pummeled.
Tremendous hand speed by Pacquiao. Throwing bushels of punches.
Pacquiao's taking the fight out of Marco.
He would take it out of anybody tonight. Frustration angle. He's trying to show Pacquiao that he's tougher than him, and he gives away the point. And you don't see Barrera get hit with 7 shots in a row. That's startling what Pacquiao has been able to do.
And I have Pacquiao with a 7-point advantage here with only 3 rounds to go. What does that mean?
Means Barrera may need 2 knockouts. It is Pacquiao's night. You know, you just get the sense that he's come up a bit, and Barrera has slid a bit off recent performances. Now, we talked about what Barrera did to Naseem Hamed and how Hamed wasn't the same after that. What will Barrera be like after this? Now, this is an outright beating.
Well, it's an embarrassment, too. His family's immediately below his corner here. He brought an entourage up here from Mexico City, and nobody's enjoying this in the Barrera camp.
Well, you'd hope that they would appreciate what Pacquiao has done. It should not be an embarrassment for Barrera to just be out-hustled and outpowered, because he still had his heart throughout this fight. But it's the first time I've ever seen Barrera so visibly rattled.
Well, Barrera really hasn't looked all that quick tonight either, has he?
No. But yet, had he moved, had he tried some righty versus lefty things, he wouldn't be getting hit with so many punches at a time.
You're talking about giving him different angles, right?
And the right hand lead, there's an example of it.
Right.
On the other hand, it just looks like Pacquiao's night no matter what. He just has a certain glow about him.
He's a superior fighter. You know, one thing we haven't talked about is Pacquiao's ability to take a punch, because he's been hit a few times tonight.
Hey, he's moving up in weight.
Hasn't been rattled.
Pacquiao, wherever you're watching, take note of this. You will not see 9 rounds of hand speed shown by Pacquiao very often. And that is a tremendous burst of hand speed over a sustained period, indicating superior conditioning.
Yeah, he's obviously one of the great ones now.
Yeah, he is just absolutely taking everything out of Barrera. But there's still 2 rounds to go. Barrera will be hoping for the miracle.
There's a good left by
In the
Barrera.
last 2 rounds.
Another good left by Barrera.
Been hit with.
Well, 2 rounds to go, Dave. Barrera needs a haymaker.
Yeah, Pacquiao waging the fight of his life, because it's the proper atmosphere to come up with the big show. Manny Pacquiao from the Philippines, 37-2-1, 29 knockouts. He is in the red trunks. Marco Antonio Barrera, 57-3, 40 knockouts. Between these guys, only 5 losses and over 90 wins. And they're fighting at this level, and here's Pacquiao dominating a guy with this record.
Looks to me like we're seeing a changing of the guard right here, though.
Yeah.
Pacquiao, 24 years of age. He has it all. Look at him going to work up against the ropes.
And he will vault into the upper echelons in the pound-for-pound ratings.
Absolutely.
Of this performance. And that's the way it should be. You want to get into the elite rankings, beat an elite fighter. And he is making this look easy. And you would have never thought you'd say that
against
about
Barrera.
him and Marco Antonio Barrera.
The only thing keeping Barrera on his feet, hanging in there, is his pride, his history. A lesser fighter, this fight would have been over 6 rounds ago.
He's got a lot of guile.
So we talked earlier about how Pacquiao would look in the later rounds if it did go the distance. Well, what do you think?
You know, it's his night. He has a lot left. And he is blitzing a guy who is known for defense. And he is just all over Barrera. Look at these angles here.
He just stunned him again right there.
Oh, some more big shots. Barrera walking into even more. And he's down.
That's a knockdown.
For the second time officially.
5, 6, 7.
Just too much Manny Pacquiao.
I got you hit in the belly and he just went down.
But here's Pacquiao with more. Should Barrera's corner rescue him?
Barrera's
He's too proud. He's too proud. Will they do that?
I don't know. I think they're going to pray for a bomb here somewhere.
Barrera. And this is where the beginning of the end comes. Knockdowns.
That was 4 punches right there, Dave, before he even landed the knockdown.
Just coming at Barrera here. Body shot. And after this, Barrera protesting to the referee. And that's when the corner has to look at it. Around the side, Barrera trying to hang on, but he can't do it.
That's the result of a residue of punishment right there. Not just one particular shot, the body shot. But
Look at
all
these
the
angles.
shots he took.
Look at Barrera just taking this. This is a guy who's so proud, but corner was slow to react. They were on their way up the steps, but
Frankly, I thought Lawrence Cole was going to stop this a little bit sooner than he did. I mean, what's he seeing here? I mean, there's no way Barrera can retaliate.
sometimes referees give great fighters a lot more room, and that's what Lawrence Cole did. But Pacquiao just enjoying a superb night, top to bottom.